If your mind is full of self-criticism, agitation, frustration, I'm not good enough, every single person we come in contact with is empathetically resonating with our negative mind state. But if our mind is full of self-compassion, if people who we care for and we're interacting with are interacting with loving, connected presence, they are actually directly being impacted by our mind state. So we aren't so separate, we're really deeply connected. Even at the neurological level as human beings, we're constantly picking up on each other's emotions. Practicing self-compassion helps the people you're caring for and also helps sustain it. My son Rowan is autistic, and when he was young, he used to have these terrible tantrums. I remember once I was on a plane to England, and I have no idea what set him off. It was just about that time when they were lowering the lights and everyone's like, okay, I can finally get some sleep. And he just lost it, right? So he was about a 5-year-old. So he's screaming and flailing. And I'm like, what to do? I was totally overwhelmed with stress. I had no idea how I was going to cope with the situation. I had the brilliant idea that I will take him to the toilet and take him inside and let him tantrum in there, and it will kind of muffle the sound of his screams, maybe. What other options did I have? I take him to the toilet, down the aisle, kicking, screaming, flailing, and I get outside the toilet, which is, of course, occupied. So there I am. And I knew at that moment that I had this resource of self-compassion available to me. Even in this horrific moment, I could call on my own self-care. So what I did is I spent maybe 5% of my attention on Rowan to make sure he wasn't harming himself, and I just flooded myself with compassion. This is so hard for you, darling. I'm here for you. It's going to be okay. Even though it was in public, I was giving myself soothing touch. I didn't care. I knew I needed to support myself in that moment. And what I found when I did that, and this happened any time Rowan tantrumed, is he calmed down. So in those moments when I let myself be agitated, or if I started criticizing myself, maybe thinking I made some parenting mistake, I would get agitated, he would ramp up. But the second I could give loving, connected presence to myself, he would calm down. So I really learned from firsthand experience that self-compassion is not only necessary to maintain compassion for others, but it actually is itself an act of compassion for others. Because everyone who comes in contact with us benefits from our more peaceful, loving state of mind.